Okie dokie. Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
I'm
It is
joined.
good to see you again.
I am joined by Dramalam with the cheese, egg, and ham, as we all know. How you doing, Mr. Fresh? How you doing, John? Yeah, how you doing, John? Mr. Warhammer 40k SM2 is Mr. John. Mr. Italian. How you doing, Tricky? Good
What's up, guys?
morning, sir. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? So, we are going to be jumping to Prime Battalion. Let me just pause the music so we don't have the music anymore.
Lycan, you look
Yes.
strange. You're shaved.
Yeah, I've trimmed up a little bit. The missus has brought me drinks and...
Yeah, I need to shave myself, to be fair. It's like, it's crawling up into my eyeballs, basically.
Right.
Alright, so Prime Bataillon, yes?
Yes.
The...
How you doing, Next? How you doing, mate? Yeah, so I have a beard trimmer. Well, it's actually just a Phillips one blade, but I've got like the attachment for it, and it's the highest attachment. But because my hair is quite like fair on my face anyway, unless it's in full bush mode, whenever I shave, this is actually like still relatively long. It's just the light just pierces through it. You can see my face under it, so it looks a bit weird. So,
Wait, do you have like and on the topic of beards, do you have like, you know, like soft hairs on your beard, or do you have more like wires?
So I have a bit of both. So my mustache is mainly wire, and then this bit here is all fluff. Like it's quite brushy. It's like a brush, basically, like a soft brush. But I tell you what I did do the other day is when I was shaving it off, I went like this on my face. I had like a hair probably like a millimeter long, stabbed me in the lip. Oh my god, that was the worst thing I felt in a long time. It was like someone just took a needle and just like stabbed me straight. It bled and everything. I was like, Jesus Christ, that from a hair. Jeez.
Yeah, me, I've got it, it's just all wire, like really, really rough wire. Yeah. So not brush. It's just it's
Yeah.
more like, you know, the metallic brushes you use to clean thing. Yeah, that.
The stuff you can like scrap up metal with.
Yeah.
Get it ready for welding.
Basically, my beard is just full Neanderthal mode.
How you doing, Jay? How you doing, mate?
So.
Yeah.
So what did you
he's got a beard.
join?
But yeah, I've shaved up my little beard a little bit, so because I was eating it quite a bit. So yeah, I got fed up of eating my own beard, like my mustache mainly. How you doing, DCK? I'm gonna be joining. Ooh, who is the commanders? I don't recognize any of these commanders. No, I do. I've recognized Gamebreaker as Sol, and Sol is currently lacking in players, so I'm gonna join Sol.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Unit. Oh shit, scout. Oh wait, never mind. I am a noob.
He is noob. Drama hasn't played a video game in a year.
What is video game?
So Dram's come back and has no idea. Yeah.
What is computer? Hello.
Let me TP to the barracks. Which is here.
Our base is under attack.
Good and bad, you broke your mic arm.
Dram is lost in the sauce. Oh wait, Mr. Connect is asking a question. What are the plans for balancing the overall game? I hope it won't result into an empirical number crunching. I hope you could use models, cost efficiency matrix, rate models, tech tree dev. Yeah, basically it's more going to be balanced via testing rather than just like a pure numerical thing, because going pure numerics is just not effective for a game like this, which is physics based.
And this crab has sunken himself underground. Yeah. Right. Okay.
But definitely want to first get through what's it called? I want to firstly get through some of the AI at least.
Enemy base located.
Ah, that's interesting. Never mind. It was just me. Don't worry about it.
Enemy approaching.
What map are we on? Is this Rift Basin? No, it's Naraka. We're on Naraka. Okay.
Our base is under attack.
I want a tank. Or gunship. Or gunship.
Structure lost.
You know I just got this this hover bike, but I might actually go teleport.
Our base is under attack.
You have to order a new mic arm. How do you manage to break it? Yeah. Where am I? I'm just teleporting to the air factories now, John. That's right, I got one here. Oh, it's half health. I can get it repaired, it's fine. Get this this lovely gunship repaired.
I wonder when harvester turrets will work when player controlled.
Where'd he go?
That's been a long-standing issue.
Harvester.
Did you
Yes.
Did you say what balancing there's gonna be for certain, or is still in decide mode? Kind of in my own world.
Mainly going to be after AI is the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit, Talion is freaking. Oh my god!
You just died to the Talion. Not the Talion.
I haven't died yet, but very damn close to it.
Okay.
Ah! Exploded with it.
What about the
Bummer.
Crabapult? A new year, a new Crabapult.
Yes. Good news and bad news. Alright, yes. And what about the Crabapult? Oh, yes, Mr. Connect. What about the Crabapult, indeed? The Crabapult is a very sophisticated piece of machinery. Alien machinery. It is interesting to consider such technology. Long story short, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I promised I'd do it if it becomes like possible time-wise, but yeah, more important things to do, you know, like finish the game. Hello, Mr. Golax.
Get truck destroyed? Or should I say rocket tank? Hello, Lucker. How you doing, mate? How you doing, Golanks?
Hey, Lucker and Golax. Lucker, so you imply that it exists. The Crabapult? It... Well, I mean, you do a Crabapult. You go to the edge of the map, you know, as a crab, and you just get... You go into the force zone, which pushes you back. Yeah, there you go, Crabapult. How do you feel about the Soul Harvester Don R turrets, or drone turrets, I guess? You feel that they are less effective at finding and firing on targets than Centauri Harvester turrets? I honestly feel they're okay, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, both of them are relatively weak and you know, not particularly effective. But I don't want them to be too effective. It's meant to be more so that if a crab gets on top of the harvester, that's when it's going to get killed. But they shouldn't serve as protection for the harvester, like general protection. You know, you still need to have some like another unit with you.
There's no tech facility. That's a heavy turret. What's that? Is anti-air? That might be anti-air.
Can I request air vehicle, please? I harvested twice. Much appreciated.
How you doing, Talion? How you doing, Kel Raymond? How you doing, Adrock?
Oh, bomber. Sorry, not bomber. Whatchamacallit?
Freighter? Freighter?
Yes. Freighter?
A freighter? We're gutting Centauri at the minute. We're destroying their eco. Oh dear. That should have hit me.
Our base is under attack.
Dram, when do aliens get to spawn as any lesser unit? Pretty please. It's high on the priority, but the higher priority right now is some AI changes. So I wanna push it to the next update, but you know, there are some very important AI changes that need to come first. Will there ever be something like a super heavy unit like the Scarab in Halo? Well, there already are. I mean, the Siege tank and the Crimson tank are both, you know, super heavy units, ultra heavy.
Now, what specifically do you mean by glitchy?
Gonna head towards the aliens because I feel like they're more of a threat than Centauri at the moment. And Centauri
Yeah,
being
you just want
planted.
to, like, you mainly just want to push Centauri back a bit enough so that they're delayed, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Took out 2 harvesters, destroyed few turrets,
Flag. I
Our base is under
haven't
attack.
this time.
killed their rocket truck that was hitting us as well, so.
Hard to tell. When
Oh, I took down an air unit. There you go. There's a Rayleigh boy.
How you doing, Mass? How you doing, mate?
Our base is under attack.
Dropping the sun on our shrimp.
Our base is under attack.
Attack there.
So fresh biting R. RHQ.
Do they only have one?
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack.
Okay, there's a rail tank, which is good. Careful, Lucker.
Harvester under attack.
Lucker's dead.
Our base is under attack.
Oh my god, why does that deflect so much? Oh, we have a golly. We are 2 rail tanks paying too much attention to the Centauri when there's a massive alien attack.
Yes. That's kind of why I directed myself over to aliens. I felt like they probably pose more of a threat at the moment. With their gazillion squids inbound.
Thought squid spam was prohibited on this server.
Our base is under
That
attack.
was back then when
Our base is under attack.
server out too much. It's better now.
Oh, alright.
Hello, you are fucked.
Look at them.
Oh, that's so many squids. Jesus fucking Christ.
They look like it is.
Our base is under attack.
Oh,
You-
we
you
might
need
need,
more
like, a ton
gunships
of
than
light
AA.
gunship. Oh, all their
Um,
gunships were fucking Centuria at that point. They are way too far away.
No, they're not. And also, by the way, all of the Centaurian stuff is gone now. So you guys don't have to worry about killing them.
Our base is
They're
under
all dead.
Yeah,
attack.
but
We got some
it still
turrets
takes
left.
time to relocate.
Give him
it
some
all.
credit.
Give him some credit.
Fuck Centaurian. No, I'm joking. Game Burger, could I get a gunship maybe? Not a gunship, a
not-
bomber.
Many squid.
Yeah, I'm not
Many squid.
Attack.
So the most underpowered faction in the game because they don't have air and they don't have anti.
Enemy approaching.
They don't have anti-anything. The only thing they do is have... should have-
Oh my god, that amount of squid.
Well,
Macro Centauri.
yeah, well, the only thing that
Have
they have somewhat
you seen how many squid there are, Dram?
I've seen
unit.
it is a lot.
Yes, and then it dies.
Quite a chunky amount of squid.
No anti-air at all.
Colossus. Luckily, the Colossus haven't yet realized that Centauri are dead.
2 more Colossus coming in from the north.
They're just God, how ominous they look in the distance. It's really
Nice.
never gets tired of that.
I hate them.
Harvester
I
under
find them
attack.
to be the worst unit in the game. By how they look.
The game
By
You're in a cat chomping cardboard.
they look like the space.
Dram needs to play Alien next round. Dram's putting off Alien buffs because he hasn't played Alien in a while. Not true at all, actually, Golanx. I've played them, and I already said that they need a lot of changes. But the thing is, I want to address it like you know, I don't want to like alt tab from AI at the moment because the aliens, like how effective they are, is strongly dependent on AI. So once I get the AI improved, then I want to revisit aliens basically, because their effectiveness is mainly governed by that.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
By the way, when you originally spoke of structure decay, I was under the impression it would be for aliens. Why do humans have it? I hate it, by the way. Okay, sorry to hear that, Talion. But the reason is because it was a classical thing of when you know it's more of a kind of a gameplay thing of having you know basically like dead bases that still are in fact active. You know, it was. You know, you want the things to like die off and disappear over time. Oh shit.
Bummer, man.
Oh shit, shit. Ah, we lost them. Watch out, Jacob. He is incoming.
Our base is under attack.
It's just shooting straight up.
A lot of squiddies.
What?
And just to clarify, Golanx, I think the aliens, I think, can be significantly more fun to play with basically just improved AI. It's just going to do so much more for them. So.
Alright, here we go.
How's the next update going, and is there any balance patch coming? So, balance, not yet. That's going to come with AI, like further AI upgrades. And the update is going like this. I'm currently doing some stuff for that's like absolutely blocking for the campaign. So I'm doing that. It's basically just an editor to some of the states. I'm basically done with that. I was doing that this week, and I'm returning to basically AI work.
Here we go. Okay, there we go.
I'm staring down a horde of riflemen as an alien player. There's nothing I can do about them because Commander can't afford a good support unit. Yeah, like I said, man, it's more about the AI than anything because the AI, you know, once the crabs go and actually, you know, are more effective on approach to the enemy, it's going to be a completely different ball game.
Those squids are gross.
I guess we should only spam the light strikers against squids.
Structure lost.
The light strikers.
Starlisle, watch out, incoming north, Goliath.
With the Gatling.
I mean, like, gunships are pretty good at taking out them if you can actually hit the fucking things.
If you can actually hit the fucking things, yeah.
Such high elevation.
Yeah, but our AA is also pretty good at doing it since they have a splash on. What we need to do is we need to focus on their branches, cut them off, and annoy them. Just make the commander not focus on his units, basically.
That's a good idea, yes.
Because that's how you guys always get me. I can't focus on my units to defend this area.
See if they have any air defense over there.
If they do, please mark them. I can take them out with my gun. With my big gun.
Yes.
Enemy approaching.
If you can, Railgun, Chase, can you get into position and start shooting the Colossus production? Because if that actually, wait, hang on, we're safe. We don't have to worry about anything because that was their entire army. Those Colossus cost a lot, so yeah, they are resources.
That's the reason for structured KPMs when all.
Great job there,
Okay, I'll get to the answers in a sec. Because first, in a bit of a dangerous situation.
Harvester under attack.
Oh, tank steering.
Tank steering on the striker was
light striker? Oh, the Centauri. Yeah. Did you know that the Centauri should have actually tracks on their tanks?
Yes.
Have you ever considered per player evolution systems such as natural selection? I think you've already answered that, haven't you, John? Not sure if you did or not.
Say again?
Have you ever considered a per player evolution system such as how Natural Selection 2 has handled it?
Yes, I did originally, but there was, I forget exactly the reasons why I chose not to go exactly in that direction.
Oh yeah, here comes the danger. Yeah, Chip. Is this mirror? I got
That's a lot of
Dragonfly
shrimp.
on me. Focus, Dragonfly. God, Chip, ignore the fucking shrimp and save my fat ass. Okay, what just damaged me for so much?
I rolled down a fucking hill with a railgun tank and destroyed it.
All vehicles but the harvester and the hoverbike have used the mouse wheel.
Classic.
I was a bit useless.
The classic.
Enemy approaching.
Come here, Mr. Truck.
If we can get a siege tank going down here, yeah, they will be fucked. Oh my god. You are... Okay, if you're gonna do that, can I at least get Homer to be able to see this for what it is? Game Burger.
Our base is under attack.
He did tell you.
He did.
I mean,
Structure lost.
there is like a chat log hung. Okay, fine.
Well,
Our base is under attack.
we have technically won already. It's not even a competition at this point.
Yeah.
Structure lost.
I told you this map sucks for aliens. They don't have enough resources anywhere. What they're currently trying to do with their shrimp are all of them are right there.
Enemy approaching.
Another game with no score at all.
It depends on the commander. You cannot expect
Well, I took
every alien
control of
commander to
the
be able to beat
took control of the entire
Come on,
mid
get it.
at one point in the game, and
Yeah.
ran resources so quickly. Even though there's a shit ton of resources in there. Well, not a shit ton. There's actually not a lot. And
Okay, so I'll go through some of the questions while I died.
every 2 nodes is basically one Voltarium field. Instantly see that humans have a huge...
Okay, by the way, Dran, when you originally spoke... Oh, wait. Will the campaign be co-op or single player? Currently, just single player. We'll see in future if it makes sense. If it's reasonably possible to extend to co-op, because, yeah.
And it's way too...
I would like a co-op, though, but I just don't want to promise it. I can understand the reason for structure K for humans when all HQs are destroyed. When my expansion HQ keeps getting sniped by rocket trucks and I lose all my structures there as well. The experience is quite frustrating. I get you, Talion, but I mean, you're talking about a different problem. If it's getting sniped from afar, that's a different problem. I mean, the rocket trucks shouldn't be shouldn't have such a range, you know. So that's a different problem that should be dealt with. It's not AI, it's riflemen cost 40 and have a gun. Yes and no. I mean, yes, the crabs need to cost less. I mean, I mainly wanted to, you know, balancing aliens is the worst. Because they're all melee units. They're completely dependent on, or most of them are melee units. They're completely dependent on on charging the enemy and the AI being absolutely reliable in what it does. Until that happens, there's no point balancing the aliens because it just, what do? You increase the cost, but you still need to go and adjust the like it in cases the AI won't do what you want it to anyway, and therefore, you know, it's not effective. The most effective way is to solve the core problem, and that's the AI, or improve it. You know, have you ever considered a per player? Oh, that was already mentioned. Are there any missing features, gameplay-wise, that you're looking forward to implementing someday, aside from quality of life stuff? Oh yeah, there are. Like, I wouldn't say missing features. I mean, it's just more like stretch goals. There are plenty of those. I don't want to go through too many of them. Just mainly, like to kind of avoid, you know, going down that route of, oh well, that's a pity, etc. But you know, for example, commander abilities. You know, to be able to, I don't know, for humans to be able to call off-map artillery, or for the aliens to kind of like be able to do some, I don't know, some special attack in some position, etc. This is stuff that I would like to have in there. Super weapons. Right, super weapons I really would like to add to this, but it's just not part of the general core loop, right? It is more of a stretch goal. So these are two of the things which I would really like in there, but it's like, you know, the game can be without them, at least for 1.0. Have you considered doing it so that rifleman does 0 damage to tanks, similar to the Templar and Goliath? Yes, I had it like this originally, and basically all the testers smashed it over my head, because they said, like, why am I doing no damage? And you know, because in a game, it's just kind of like the general kind of rule is that you expect that if you're hitting something with something and does some effect which looks partially decent, you must be doing damage. And if it was doing 0 damage, it just felt wrong. It felt like a bug. So yes, I had that originally, and I backtracked from it because just based on an overwhelming amount of feedback, and I was like, all right, cool, it needs to do some damage. Lycan had a good shot. He did a good shot for once.
I'm always a good shot.
That's true. Shot. You are a good shot. You're just always like one hit.
I'm always one shot.
Dram, why is the game only using about 20 to 25% of CPU and GPU? What could be the bottleneck? Quite honestly, I'm starting to suspect Windows to a degree, but it's also the nature of multi-threading, right? Because everyone thinks like multi-threading is just a general solution, you can have anything run anything. The reality is, when you're multi-threading, you still, you know, you offload work to one of the threads while you're doing something else, but then you need to go and pick up the result from that thread, you know. And at that point, if the thread hasn't finished, you're now waiting for the thread to finish. Right? So it's multi-threading is very complicated to get right, but generally speaking, like the physics in Silica or in Unity is multi-threaded. You know, AI is multi-threaded, but there are a couple of things which, simply put, are just, my suspicion is that a lot of the lag time is caused by the networking, in fact, because when you do what we're doing here in single player, it runs much faster, right? So, you know, I want to, you know, I'll need to continue profiling and finding what the cause is, but I'll put it this way, Lycan, right? Oh, sorry, Lucca. The reality is, what happens is, I save performance, and people go more crazy. I save performance, and people go more crazy. So it's, you know, I think it's about increasing caps, you know, doing things which are more reasonable than having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units. You know, it's like I said, the original target was having 200 units in the game in total, you know. And right now, I mean, just Sol has well over 150 units and many, many structures. And the aliens are just obviously, you know, on a completely different level. But, yeah, like I said, I will be further profiling and finding out what's causing this shit, but not anytime soon. I'm going to be brutally honest about that. Right now, AI, quality of life, and campaign. These are the three things that will be focused now, because I think the performance is at a level where it's pretty okay for now. And by the way, I think someone's cheating. Someone's a worm. Anyway.
It might be the random crate. So.
Okay, yeah. I realized. I just realized. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh yes, and then afterwards, there's bug fixing and optimization. So this is like I will get it back to that at that point. But AI definitely first. I'm not doing anything else before AI. Apart from the campaign, like get the stuff for the campaign which is needed, which is blocking, such as the editor I'm currently finishing up, which was needed to even be able to do the campaign. So, and also it's the reality is just because your PC can has millions of cores, it doesn't mean like the biggest bottlenecks usually are the L1, L2 caches, like how much throughput can actually be sent to the CPU, So it's that's usually where the biggest bottlenecks are. So you'll have like it's a multitude of things. But I'll that said, like I said, I will be profiling it and finding out what it is. But I mean, at this point, it's just just looking at this, there's a lot going on, shall we say? Hey Drum, can we get ground-based AA, missile car, flak car, AA turrets, to have a 750 millimeter range to help keep collos from sniping them? Yeah, Talion, it's like one thing you change and then it creates new problems, so then you change nothing, that creates new problems. No, I don't want to change anything until we do like a full balancing pass, and that'll be after some basic improvements to the AI, most notably to the alien AI, because the alien AI is what's suffering the most right now. I think like the human AI is certainly not ideal, but it's definitely leaps and bounds beyond the alien AI, and that's what needs to change. It needs to improve to be able to continue to do further improvements, because the alien AI is the biggest issue, where it just runs into the enemy, and of course the human AI suffers from collision avoidance. Like it's just not finalized, so that needs to be returned to as well. So it's these things, like right now on like the top priority for AI is finalizing collision avoidance, most notably avoiding the issues where there's like a gridlock, where they can't get past each other and whatnot. So that's the first point, or like one of the first points. And the second one is making sure that the aliens are actually able to go and correct the attack, like in melee, be much more effective. Because sometimes I notice that as a player crab, I'm just much faster than the alien, like the AI crabs, and that's just because they're just ineffective. Like they keep slowing down and stopping and doing some weird shit. So that needs to be improved as well. And then we can start worrying about balancing and all this kind of stuff. If there's super low-hanging fruit where it's like, oh yeah, very clearly one particular thing is a problem, then we can go and adjust it, of course. But I want to avoid doing it because, you adjust it there, that creates new problems. So you do nothing in the end, That's what I'm most worried about. And it's like, assigning it to someone else, there's no one to assign it to. Yeah, everyone's basically full up on work. And I can't afford another person, just being brutally honest, infantry should be capped way lower. I agree. Infantry and thing, but like, I mean, it's about the unit caps. I'm not sure what Prime Battalion is using currently for the unit cap, but I think it's a poor approach right now to have the various unit cap tiers. It might be better to just have a standard unit cap and infinite, So it gives you, like, you can basically disable the unit cap if you wish to. But that's on you then. But officially supported servers should always have like a unit cap which is set to some reasonable level. It'll make that car more accurate with faster projectiles to put the fear into gunships. Yeah, again, it's back to the same thing, Talion. Like I want to avoid. You increase the speed of that, then aliens can't ever approach. Then that becomes a problem. So you have to go increase the speed of the aliens or something like that. It's just I'm not touching that stuff until I get better AI. Templar is best AA in the game. That's infantry. Yes, the Templar is not expensive enough, quite frankly. I don't want to reduce the effectiveness of the AI, of the Templar, sorry. In fact, quite the opposite. I'd like to increase the effectiveness of individual infantry, make them more expensive, and make them more valuable. Because right now, like, you just spam riflemen, right? And it's just, individually they're useless, but when there's a group of them, they're super effective. And you just want to kind of like, okay, we might as well have less infantry then. It'll help everything, you know. Just want to shout out to Dram and the team for making a great game with a great community. My IRL friends and I always have a great time playing this game. Thanks, Kel. It's good to hear, man. Thank you very much. And yeah, I thank your friends as well. And it's good to hear that you guys are having fun. I mean, you know, it's great playing with like with you all, because you know you get to see the problems in the game, and of course you see the fun things in the game. You can see people having fun, and there's unfortunate things which kind of like ruin the experience partially, right? So it's with those solved in the future, it should become significantly more fun to play in general. 150 infantry cap on PB. Yeah, so we should probably reduce that, quite frankly. Will there be a 2v2 option in the future? Mr. Knecht, what do you mean by that? Like, as in like four-way? Or do you mean like Centauri and Sol versus aliens and aliens, for example? All here say I to see Dramby. Quite frankly, like, if you guys want me to be a commander, like, maybe another day. I'm actually relatively tired, mentally speaking.
Are they
So, I mean,
bringing up
I
the
would do a
1v1
shit
again?
job.
Are they bringing up me versus you again, or not today?
No. They were talking about the 2v2. Oh, that was Mr. Connect.
Oh, okay, fair. I'm waiting.
Templar
for it.
isn't that good of an
say
A
something.
unit.
Someone's gonna say something now. Oh yeah, we want Dram versus Lycan again. Yeah.
Today, I think, quite frankly, Lycan would win. So it's not much of a bet today. Templar isn't that good of an A unit. Riflemen are better and cheaper and less unit cap. Yeah, I actually agree with you, Matter. Except unless you're talking about heavier air units. Like, if we're talking about general, like, lighter units, I agree. But I think, you know, when you got, for example, Colossus, definitely more effective to have Templar. Unless I'm wrong. What is the first AI improvement to come next? So the first AI improvement is, I actually want to do a hotfix. It's a bit of a, I don't want to say dodgy, but I'll just call it dodgy hotfix to the collision avoidance, where basically units that can't avoid each other will drive through each other. Friendly units, right? So the idea is that, you know, if harvesters can't find a way around each other, they'll just drive through each other. It's not exactly the most elegant of solutions, but it'll mean that units go and flow much better, right? That's just a temporary hotfix while I improve, and at the same time I'll try and get them to actually avoid better, you know. But I think it's good to have that final backup option in case the shit hits the fan, right? Because it is a physics-based game. Units can get into a situation where they can't do anything but drive through each other, and it's better they drive through each other than just stand there. Templar shreds Colo 30% in one mag. Yeah. It depends. If it hits the eye. Common stressful as fuck. Yes, it is indeed. With you and the team being so small, I see most people give this game a lot of grace with the issues in the game, which to be honest aren't as game-breaking issues as some AAA games. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, like, we can't increase the size of the team without increasing the budget significantly, right? It's a kind of thing like, once a game is out, you can't, like, unless it's just a banger straight off the hit, like straight off the bat, right? Where suddenly there's a massive interest. You can't go and upsize the team. In fact, it's usually the other way around. You usually downsize the team, i.e., you move people to other projects, right? Because if a game comes out and there's a certain amount of people, the probability, like people buy it, the probability that it can suddenly turn around and you know, become extremely popular is quite low. I'm just being brutally honest, right? There's no point talking bullshit. So in the case of Silica, we'll see, right? But ultimately, you know, increasing the size of the team is just impractical anyway, because if I started to do that, you know, that means, one, much longer development time for you guys, because that the new members would actually have to be trained, be integrated, be given work to do, etc. It also means changes to the plans, etc. The whole thing would delay the game by another 6 months, a year, right? And then, of course, there's the question of like, do you have the fortune of getting good people straight from the get-go? And it's a hit and miss. I've had some of my own experiences have been positive, very positive, and some have been negative. It's just how it goes. Yeah, any mix of 2 versus 2, or even a 4-way, 2v2 sounds more fair than 1v1v1. I completely understand Connect, but like that's the problem is, if people are talking about performance problems, then adding another team in is not a good idea. And I mean, quite frankly, I don't think the game particularly suffers that much from performance problems right now, apart from, when people go on extreme matches, which is usually what happens on Prime Battalion, right? Which is great, and I still want to go and improve things as much as possible. But I mean, we are probably going to start running out of things to improve in terms of performance. It's just the sheer amount of things which have to be simulated, synchronized, and all this kind of stuff is just, yeah. So doing a 4-way, definitely not before 1.0. I'm just going to say that straight off. Definitely not before 1.0. Rename the game on 1.0 launch and pretend it's brand new. Yeah, true. We just call it I don't know. What's another thing we can think of? We got Silica. We can talk
Polymer.
Bauxite. We'll just call it Bauxite.
Or Polymer.
Polymer, yes. No need to increase team size, in my opinion. However, is budget the biggest constraint, or is it time? It's more both, right? The reality is, like, each game has a wish list. Obviously, everyone knows that. But like, when you release a game, there is a reasonable window when to release it. Silica's already passed that window. It should have been out 2 years ago, ideally, right? But problems, increase in scope, and all this kind of stuff. Originally, we didn't want to do campaign, but we decided to. Originally, Centauri weren't meant to be completely unique. There was only meant to be like let's say 30% of the units were meant to be different. But we went full on, including all the structures and all this kind of shit, right? So some of the scope has changed to kind of like make the game for the better, right? But increasing size, like, I mean, that's usually the thing everyone says, right? Oh, increase the team size. And I know you're not saying that, but it's like everyone says, oh, increase the team size, it's going to go much faster. It doesn't go faster. There's a silly saying, but there's a very strong element of truth in it. What 2 programmers will do in 1 month, 1 programmer will do in 1 month. The whole point is that you can put 2 people onto a task, but if they're blocking each other, it'll just take the same amount of time. And it doesn't guarantee a better quality result. So you have to, it's a very careful balance. And the reality is, like, with Silica at this point, it doesn't make sense to take on any more people. Not like, it just wouldn't go faster, because again, it would slow me down as I train new people or someone else. I mean, all the units I have to do, sounds and all this kind of stuff, right? So, if I took on someone to do that, that would mean I wouldn't be working on the stuff while I train the person, which means that there wouldn't be AI, there wouldn't be the campaign, there wouldn't be like all the base parts of the campaign, there wouldn't be more units and stuff for some time. But then there would, right, be new units and so on. So it's usually a balance which you kind of have to strike. And the reality is, when you have a team and you've released the game, you do not change the team, ideally, right? Until the game has kind of like reached its reasonable lifespan, Usually, in fact, start decreasing the amount of people working on the project, because, for example, graphic artists, they usually aren't on that. They're usually the first ones to move on to the next project, right? Because they need to, logically speaking, finish first, because the programmers and everyone needs the thing. But it depends. It depends on how you do it. But like, the budget is a constraint, yes, absolutely, and the budget is given by the existing sales versus predicted sales, right? Like in the case of Silica, right? In other cases, if you were self-funding, it's a different story, right? There you got just it's you know, the budget is literally, we have this amount of money, we can't spend more than this, you know, and you don't go like all of it, obviously, because you need to have some reserve and whatnot, you know. Ideally, you have 2 games that you can pay for, you know, in a company, like in a small company. The reality is most are running off like fumes, basically, and then they get lucky and fantastic, or they don't and they just go under, and you never hear of them again. I have trust that the performance will improve for a 2v2, and we need to lower unit cap for those matches for sure. Yeah. I think Mr. Connect. I think in general we need to lower the cap because I don't like the soldiers feeling like cannon fodder. Right? Infantry should have some. You know, it's just too easy to kill, and it's just not that fun. And it's not entirely fun to play as infantry unless you're playing Centauri ones. You know, and even then, I think it's too easy to die as a player, right? As AI, it's obviously a little bit different, but either way, my vision is to have like I don't know, like 80 infantry maximum. You know, you don't want any more than that because then it just becomes World War I or World War II, and there's plenty of games that do that better. You know, so there's no point in doing that. So I do want to lower unit cap. And I do want to switch it to, like I said, not doing it so you have low, medium, high, because it just, I notice everyone doesn't actually use it. People just generally use medium as a standard. Some people go to infinite. And I know Prime Italian uses the higher value, and I'd go with like a standard value, and you can change it, and you can put unlimited if you wish, for local games, not like not officially supported dedicated servers. Age of Craps. Are you only working on Silica right now, or do you help with other projects? No, I'm exclusively working on Silica at the moment. Unless you count the odd, I just like, because some people write to me from the Take on Mars community still, right? You know, here and there, like very like thing, and I just kind of like answer some of the questions there, but that's not really working on, is it? So it's yeah, so just Silica. That is very good thought on infantry. The infantry spam is a big issue, to be honest. Yeah, cheers. And yeah, I mean, you know, you want infantry to feel impactful. You know, it's better to have less infantry but make them more impactful than have infantry spam and there's that little fucking scout. He's just squirting at me, doing nothing, and is just a bit of a nuisance. You know, that's not good. It's not good gameplay. Could be a Centauri feature to send wave after wave of fodder tanks and infantry. I understand the thought, Lucka, but I'd prefer to avoid that. Just again, performance reasons and gameplay reasons. You know, if the infantry on your team are cannon fodder, that means you're cannon fodder playing as them as well, and it's not fun to play cannon fodder. Hey Dram, I love the state of the game at the moment. It's amazing. Do you think we could slow down the tech tree so we spend more time with the lower tier tech units? Hey Saldrilius, good to see you again, man. Yes, I do intend to slow down the progression indeed, because right now, usually when you send the infantry, by the time they get to the enemy base, it's tech 3. You know, so this is definitely something I want to slow down a bit. I don't want to slow it down too much because you want to avoid having matches, start like too late, like ramp up too late. But I definitely think it could use a slowdown, 100%. Maybe make infantry squad based instead of single dudes. It's irrelevant. Even if you did squad based, it's, you still need to simulate each individual one. It wouldn't save anything in terms of performance or anything like that. So even if I did it so they were squad based, so you'd build 5 at a time, and they'd always be like together, it wouldn't save a single bit of resource at all. It just make it maybe slightly easier for you to select, but then you need to have, you need to put a mechanic. Okay, how do I refill this squad? So this is what you see in other RTSs, and I thought it's not worth it. It's just not worth it here. I wouldn't save anything, So it's just the nature of doing things physics-based. There's advantages and there's disadvantages. The disadvantage is you don't have all that many places to save. And why did I do it physics-based? I wanted it to feel realistic, like a grand scale thing, and I think ultimately we've succeeded in that regard. But of course, there's limits that imposes. Does funding have to come from Bohemia, or is it possible for you or other to donate their own money for the budget? So, I mean, if I donated my own money to the budget, that would buy me like maybe 2 months. It's not effective. I think the thing that people need to understand, like, game development is extremely expensive. Tech people are expensive because that's just the asking price, right? So, like, an individual, especially in today's market, is just not realistic, you know. So if there was someone else that donated, I mean, the reality is it's nice, it's a thing, but unless we did like a full-blown Kickstarter to try and gain a large amount of money, and I don't think it's a good idea from multiple perspectives, including PR, to do like a Kickstarter campaign now. Maybe post 1.0, but definitely not now. It doesn't make sense. Do you feel like the Centauri unit release brought more people to the game? I love this. I was a long time without playing, and now I'm loving the game with the Centaurian game. Yes, it did. You can, even if you look at Steam charts, for example, you can see there's a big jump when the Centauri update was released, and it didn't die off quickly like the other ones. It took much longer to kind of get to back down to the core community essentially. I mean, it still wasn't massive. I still think like a lot of people are waiting for more vast improvements, and I think most people are waiting for 1.0 because they see the progress. Yeah, it's moving, but it's just not there yet, right? Not there yet for what they want to play, which is fully polished, and that's just 1.0, right? The biggest issue I think you're going to encounter is making infantry more viable without having to change the environment. I'm not so sure I agree, JJ. Like, it really depends on, doing more damage. I mean, a scout, like, taking out a tank sounds ridiculous, right? For obvious reasons. One option, of course, is to take the natural selection 2 route, which is when you reach a certain tech level, the weaponry of the basic scouts changes, so they just get upgraded, right? So they have, let's say more powerful bullets. It's the easiest way to do things, keeping the infantry viable even later in the game. Where at the beginning, yeah, they're weak as shit, even against each other. But later on, they're a bit more. It's like, okay, cool. You still want to avoid the infantry. But I think that there needs to be more design work around that, like a design thought. Okay, how can I make that infantry more viable? And I think there's definitely ways to do it, relating to damage and stuff. But it's also about detection. I think they get detected too easily very often. If they're out in the open, of course. So that's an AI issue to a degree as well. But I don't think the environment needs to change all that much. It's more about transports and also general infantry speed. I think the scout is like, that's the limit of where you want to go with infantry speed, right? It's really fast. It's quite fun to run around with the scout, but if the Templar was running around that fast, it would feel weird, If you work on not making them cannon fodder, there's a lot of power in vehicle gameplay at the moment. So the infantry not having an environment where they can change that kind of fight to their... Maybe I misunderstood the question. So if you work on not making them cannon fodder, there's a lot of power in vehicle gameplay at the moment. So the infantry not having an environment where they can change that kind of fight to their advantage, it puts you in a position where to adjust them, you may have to do it numerically, which just makes them playing a numbers game, damage-wise. Yes and no, right? I mean, like I said, for example, I think the Centauri infantry, they're in a pretty good place. Ironically, like if you play the militia, you do a small amount of damage to even light vehicles and even nearing heavy ones. You do a small amount of damage, so you do feel you can actually do something. I think it's just a scout that feels really weak as fuck, and the rifleman I think its problem is maybe more related to sound, and feel, and it could be because we've played the Soul Infantry for so long that suddenly playing the Centauri one feels very new. It could be that, but I suspect it's a little bit different. I just feel that the rifleman is not as effective as it could be versus the trooper, right? So it's going through revisiting basically how these units feel and adjusting them to make them feel better. which will also improve the general gameplay of playing as infantry. And then, of course, damage is going to be ultimately the thing that needs to change primarily for the infantry to be more viable. Dram, scrap the map of the trenches. It's too buggy for harvesters. You mean the moor? Because I definitely want to keep it even just for the sake of the campaign and stuff. But the harvesters are again a different issue. The bazooka guys really need a pistol, a secondary. With a pistol, we could shoot from the hoverbike. I'm definitely not going to put shooting into the hoverbike because you get the hoverbike for free. It would just make it absolute hell for aliens, so definitely not. But and having secondary weapons, it means implementing an entire secondary weapon system, which I don't want to do right now. I want to focus on finishing the more important stuff. Going back to adding secondary weapons, I mean, it's not just secondary weapons. You'd like to have, more things you can do, grenades and all this kind of shit. We're not there yet, Once we have AI improved, once we have the campaign at a certain point, then we can even start thinking about this. And realistically speaking, and I'm not going to lie, that's probably going to be after 1.0. Transport should be much faster. Yeah, it should. In fact, Mr. Connect, the transports right now are just like the way they are to feel good, but they obviously need to increase speed as well. I think most vehicles could use an increase in speed partially. And aliens as well. My niece, I assume? My niece was playing as bugs and said the infantry seems small. Could you consider upscaling them slightly? No, they're actually very large. Everything's massive. The Templar is 2.2 meters tall, from memory. For example, the Scout is 1.75 meters tall. So it's for example, the Commando, he's over 6 foot. For a thing. So, and the Templar is the tallest of them. So the infantry are already quite large. It's the vehicles which are massive. And sometimes you do kind of lose that sense of scale until you come up to a harvester and see the door, which is made for a human. So it's more. I think now I understand. Playing as bugs. Okay, so and looking at the infantry. Yeah. So the thing is, the bugs are big. Right? The bugs are big. They feel small because of the way they move, the speed at which they move. If I was to make them move more realistically for their size, they'd have to be jumping way much more than they do. I mean, like I said, right now, when you jump up as an alien, or as a human as well, twice the power of gravity is applied to you. Until you're moving at a certain downwards velocity. The reason for this is to make it feel more kind of dynamic, because before it was like you jumped up and you were hovering. It felt like you were hovering in the air, but it was correct. It was literally physically correct, but it just didn't feel correct. And ultimately, this is not a simulator. It's it's a game. It's and I try to keep it a bit more like in the arcade direction. So I mean, increasing the size of infantry, it brings its own problems. Suddenly we'd have problems with all the structure. So I'm not changing the size, definitely not. And I don't want to downscale the vehicles because I like the large vehicles. So I mean, I'm quite happy with the size at the moment. But I understand that from the perspective of the bugs, the humans being smaller, and it might feel like, okay, they're too small. But the reality is, if I increase them by 20% of the size, it wouldn't really increase much. I'd have to double their size. To make it more visibly different, if you get what I mean. And then we're talking about an entire different level of problems. So I could downsize the bugs, but that creates its own problems. It's just not worth changing that. Small caliber, weak shot, but fun. Yes. Jumped. If infantry had cool grenades and abilities like a bubble shield that gives you an extra life, calls and airstrikes and plant bombs, they could have more impact. Also, they could capture buildings. Yes, this is all kind of essentially Helldiver stuff. It would be really nice to have that in. Most likely not happening until 1.0. Just because we need to keep it focused. Budget reasons and multiple things. Not happening before 1.0. Infantry are awfully free to be very powerful. Of course, Gonix. The whole idea is we will reintroduce, or we will in fact go back on the decision I went back on the decision, which I went back on the decision, which was personal resources. We will go with personal resources for 1.0. And you will buy infantry, so to speak. And just for anyone that might be confused, I'm not talking about monetization. I'm talking about like in-game like resources gained from when the harvester comes in and gives you resources and, like to the team. You get like a percentage over the top of the team of what it gives to the team, etc. And you'll have to buy, so basically to prevent the spam of things like the Templar, yeah, because you get it for free. Why would you choose anything else, right? Like, why would you choose a trooper when you can have a Templar? So it's this. Another option is making the vehicle count much lower, consequently making the infantry more important. That's of course an option, Frankenheart, but and hello by the way. The problem with doing that is it's too fun. You definitely want to have a lot of vehicles because that's like, I'd say the strongest point of fun in the game. Having those many vehicles driving around and you popping them off and so on. I don't want to decrease the amount of vehicles. Like overall, like obviously, if you adjust the unit cap, you don't just change the infantry. You kind of change the vehicles cap as well. It needs to make sense. You don't want to have it only based like basically, yeah, it needs balancing in the sense of performance balancing. What is the target maximum units you can have for a given team, and what's the easiest way to achieve, or what's the cheapest way to achieve it, right? I don't mean like in terms of monetary, like in terms of resources, but in terms of, okay, can I get, by using the lightest units, can I get 500 units, and therefore cause server issues and all this kind of stuff? And if yes, that needs to be changed. All infantry can be strong and based off class and playstyle, then make them more expensive. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I mean, the biggest problem with the infantry is not adding, because we don't have like secondary weapons and this kind of stuff, and it's not realistic for us to do it before 1.0. For for the reasons I mentioned before. It's going to be limited to the weapon the unit has and to the abilities it has in terms of like its size and movement speed. You could have like an infantry unit which has a shield. When it's moving, when it stands still in a certain direction, it's got a shield, for example. But of course that opens a new can of worms. The AI has to be able to deal with that and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, like doing items which you can use, I'd love that. I really would. But it's just like, okay, is it critical to the game? No, it's not. There's more important things like the AI, that's just more important. So once we get to the point where, if I'll put it this way, if we got to the point where, AI is working great, that includes harvesters and obstacle avoidance and all this kind of stuff, obviously. Even, the AI, the commander AI is also like working great. Performance is good. The campaign's well long and doing well. Multiplayer infrastructure is working perfectly without any without causing slowdowns or anything like this. Then you can start to think, okay, well, fantastic. Perhaps we can start to reprioritize some further improvements that can have a bigger impact on the game's success post-launch. But until you reach that point, yeah, it's just not reasonable, and we're talking about like 2 months to reach that point, or more, in fact, 3. Also, if the scouts could unlock utility tools, would help them a lot. What do you mean by unlock utility tools, by the way? Will you add the scope effect for the zoom, aiming for vehicles? Oh, right. Like to be able to zoom all the way into single player. I actually have to deprioritize that, Saljulius, because basically it's going to be it's a lot more work for something which already works fine with the zoom it currently has now. Not ideal, 100% agree, but it's just something I don't want to deal with right now, and I think there's more important things like to do, like the AI, and there's no one free to do it at the moment. I think Hover Tank should have infinite boost like the gunship, and also not be able to shoot and boost at the same time. I definitely don't agree. It was like that originally on release. Yeah, we don't want to go back to that time because hover tanks were just being used to storm bases, and it's fun for the player doing it, not fun when it happens against you. By the way, what are the chances for a shielded heavy infantry unit down the line after 1.0? Ironically, great minds think alike, right? I just mentioned it before. Yeah, like post 1.0, yeah, I mean, it depends on how successful the game is. You know, if it releases and there's no one playing the game, no one buying it, I mean, you know, no, it's not going to happen. You know, but of course, if it goes and like people are playing it, buying it, etc., then yeah, it's definitely like, you know, it's definitely one of the things I'd like to improve, add shields and this kind of stuff, you know. At the moment, what do you think the game needs most, and what is really a pain to work on in this game? Okay, so what the game needs most? AI. And what is the biggest pain to work on? AI. It's both of them. Like, it's both the same thing. The reason why it's a pain to work on the AI is because sometimes you get, like, with a small amount of work, you get a lot of movement, so to speak. Like, as in, like, you know, you get a lot of, like, not good results. But sometimes you get things which you work on for half a fucking year, and it's just, it still remains a pain in the ass, like collision avoidance. I just fucking hate collision avoidance, you know, because, and the reality is, it's like, you know, it's like, I remember someone saying, like, okay, why don't you do what armor does? Well, I can't, I don't have roads. And armor doesn't have vehicles which are the size of a building moving around. So they can just do things which I cannot, basically. You know, I've in fact talked to the armor programmers, and they said, well, you're a little bit fucked with that. So, I mean, I have to go and make my own solutions for it, basically. As soon as I mentioned shield, you said, oh yeah, yeah. I heard a while ago, correct me if I'm wrong, that there would be more biomes to fight in, like a jungle. Was that scrapped? Well, the jungle is there already, but it's on Centaurus. I want to slightly adjust the lighting on Centaurus, because right now it's very red saturated, and it should be red saturated, but it's red saturated in a way which is, I think, you lose a lot of the feel. Like, I'm not going to desaturate because then it looks pink. It's more about changing, you know, the surface and this kind of stuff. But there's a jungle there. But fair, it's a red jungle. Like, okay, it's probably not the jungle you're looking for. But the biomes, like the planet, I want to keep to the lore, like, or the thing which defines the game, which is desert, right? The other biomes we're talking about are on different planets, right? Or like you have, okay, so just to clarify, the potential biomes you have on Bolterus are ice, obviously, like, you know, snowy shit, basically on the North Polar Cap, the North Polar Cap specifically. The South Polar Cap, you have, well, cap, it doesn't have a cap. The South Pole, you have the Badlands, right? That's the constant electrical discharges, etc., right? Hell, essentially. Then you have, obviously, desert, mountainous regions, and all this kind of shit. We've got all that stuff, right? Canyons and so on. And then there's things which are not in there, which is, for example, caves, right? Because it's meant to be kind of like underground systems, of course. So caves are one thing, but of course, a cave that introduces its own problem. So either you do a massive cave where the camera can go all the way up, in which case it's like, okay, it's such a big cave, it doesn't make a difference. Or you have problems with RTS. Right, so that's to consider. But apart from caves, also volcanic regions, because there is meant to be like volcanic activity, right? Like in small, very local, etc. But you know, that presents its own interesting thing, but it's still dry and dead. You know, there is no, essentially, there's basically almost no water on the surface of the planet. So the biomes we're talking about are different planets primarily, including Earth, yeah, which has forests. The AA vehicle of Sol is really, really bad. Very hard to hit a firebug. Can you make the missiles track the aim? Like, you can move them with your mouse. The missiles do track. They, in fact, do lead the target, but the problem is that once the target moves, they can't turn fast enough. The reason I've done that is I wanted to make it so that if you are actively trying to avoid the missile, like going at the enemy, you should be able to kind of like partially avoid it. But I've noticed there's a lot of cases where it just does some, like, it's difficult to hit because the AI is doing this and whatnot, and it keeps missing. And I 100% agree, and I'm probably going to go and make it much more deadly. So that AA units are much more of a target. They should be easy to destroy, but very dangerous. So I want to go back to that kind of a setup. And it's also because the firebug is very maneuverable as well, by the way. Dram, do you have any plans to improve the marksman's scope? Very tight view. Sniper has a much better scope to use, lot less claustrophobic. Okay. Sorry, I just was mixing up which ones they were. Marksman, of course, is the Centauri one, which has the massive heavy rifle, and the sniper has the one which is a lighter. I actually didn't intend to make any particular changes to that because the light sniper rifle is meant more for anti-infantry, whereas the marksman rifle is like the marksman's massive rifle is meant like anti-materiel, right? It's meant against light vehicles and stuff like this as well. It's also why it's got a big bullet which travels slower, so it's harder to hit things with the marksman's rifle. So therefore, you generally need a bit more of a wider angle to see stuff. And of course, it's very tight because of the actual the scope. No, I'll be honest with you, Italian. No, I didn't have any intention to change anything for now, because there's just much more important stuff to work on. And I think it's good in the way it works. It could be better. I agree, but I think also like there's plenty that could be improved, which is just like in with the FPS and stuff. Utility tools for infantry like grenades, call-ins, grappling hook, or short jump, jetpack, advanced scanning tools, etc. Oh, well, that's what you meant with, I guess, Frankenhart, with the utility stuff. Like I asked before. Yeah, none of that's happening before 1.0, man. It's just, we have to really nail down the scope. Otherwise, we're going to be in infinite early access hell, and it's just not worth it. For anyone. Hello, Dram, and hello, Jackeel. If your plan is to reduce the amount of infantry and increase their impact, will their weapons' cone of fire, e.g. riflemen, be reduced? I think it's something new players are confused about. Yes. So what I would like to do is, in fact, rework the recoil system. Right now, what happens is, it's basically, it's always at the center of the screen, and as you shoot, it kind of like spreads more in like more of a muzzle spread, right? The problem is that's not, for people who aren't used to the crosshair expanding, they don't like they'll go and they'll do a lot of like just firing, and then they're wondering why it's spreading so much. I want to change this eventually to be more like other games, more modern games, where essentially the spread is not that it's just an arbitrary spread, but you see the weapon jumping around much more, right? As in like you're losing control of it, So because that kind of is much more tactile feedback for you to be able to like use. Okay, I need to not shoot as much, Of course, the alternative is just to generally reduce the muzzle spread, but there's gameplay implications for why the muzzle spread needs to remain at some reasonable value, because if you reduce it too much, then they become snipers. But yeah, generally speaking, I would like to change this. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to change it drastically by 1.0. Could you increase the effective range of AA Sol vehicles and missiles explode way too soon? Yeah, that was what I mentioned before. Like generally balancing after what's it called? Like these balancing changes, because I really want to avoid it, because it works partially to a degree now. Like it works. It works okay. It's not perfect, not by a long shot. But the biggest change will come with AI, and I need to then adjust it. I just don't want to start doing like a change here, because you do one change here, and then it's like, oh, Dram, you've now broken this and this and this and this. So you make a change there. Oh, Dram, now you've broken this, and it's like, fuck. So it's just I don't want to touch it until AI basically has reached a reasonable point. I haven't bought the game yet. I've just been watching the stream, so I'm sorry if I'm asking for things already in the game. Oh, no worries, man. It's all good. And hello.
When Horn.
It does look really fun. Yeah, one option is just to you can of course watch some Let's Plays, or you can just buy it and just refund it if you don't enjoy it. Hey Dram, how much water is in the molten core of Bolterus? In the molten core of Bolterus, so I don't want to get into too much detail, because generally it would be superheated steam, which would generally, because of its nature, would find a way to be either super compressed in the rocks, basically, or in the mantle, or find its way up eventually, because it's much lighter and less dense than the material it's in, so it'll be naturally pushed upwards. So there's no water in the core, essentially. Not core, the mantle, my bad. Alright, yeah, the mantle. You know, just a couple of layers up, but we get the point. Or like the next layer or 2 layers up. Yeah, basically none. Like more or less none. You know, it's been absorbed by the aliens on top, essentially. The sniper has also much better stats than the marksman. No, they have this. They have, for the same amount of time, they do the same amount of damage. Oh, right. Okay. Now I see. I mean stats from the PB server. The bullet drop for snipers is really nasty. Wait. So the sniper does more, like, just to understand, Mr. Connect, you're saying that the sniper has has much better stats, like as in is killing more people on Prime Battalion, and if so, are we talking about against infantry, or like are we talking about kills? Because the thing is, you'll use the sniper against infantry, but you'll use the marksman against light vehicles. So there's a big difference. Just to clarify. I mean, stats from sorry, the bullet drop for snipers is really nasty. Well, snipers, I wouldn't say so. They fall at half the speed of gravity, essentially. It's more that they zoom in quite a lot. Please comment on the interceptor and pulse tank. Salgeris, what do you mean? Either I missed it, man, because there's just been many questions, or like, not sure what you mean, Salgeris. So just feel free to ask it again, man.
When horn.
Dram, we are all in free cam now. It's the timing issue we mentioned, maybe. Yeah, it must be, because I'm still at the. Oh, in fact, okay, let's have a look. You just mentioned it now. I'll hop into Satori, for example.
It was in Rift Basin. We're fine now. We switched maps, so we're all back to normal.
Oh, right, Roger. Yeah, I was so concentrating on reading the questions that, yeah, fair enough. It could be the timing. Yeah, it probably is the timing. I imagine. So I'll be putting in a confirmation thing there. I definitely agree with you on weapon spread. Thank you. I think being able to tap fire to do more accurate long distance damage would make infantry versus infantry fighting more interesting. It's already like that, Jackeel. It's just a bit more difficult to kind of like gauge that. Like if you do one taps, you'll see that it's much more accurate. Like if you try it and just open any map, and go as infantry and do one taps, and you'll see like one tap, and you'll see that it's very accurate. And then do hold, and you'll see it spreading actively. Like shoot at a wall, you can see it spreading. Wasp on top of the HQ. There we go, dead. Beside all the questions for improvements, it is already a very fun game, Drama Team. Thank you, DCK. Always good to hear, man. Yes, we'll send it to you. All right, cheers, Connect. When Raider and Quad Horns. Oh, I don't. It's like in asking these questions. We can ignore that, right? Raider and Quad Horns and Harvester Foghorns. Yeah, it's like I mentioned. You put in horns and everyone will want them everywhere. Maybe it's a bit of a meme, but it's very low on the priority list, shall I say? I feel like the Interceptor doesn't fulfill any role at the moment, and the Pulse Tank is an anti-wave, but it is too weak. Wait, the Pulse Tank is too weak? Jesus Christ, the Pulse Tank does so much damage. Like, if used against buildings, for example, it causes absolutely catastrophic damage. Or against vehicles, it just completely deletes them, basically. But the range is, of course, the issue we're talking about. I think the biggest solution to the Pulse Tank, and in fact, this is similar to the, on the enemy team, on the Centauri team, the Pyro Tank, is speed. I think they could use a bit more speed, especially the Pulse Tank, because if it came in faster, that would probably be much more effective. As for the Interceptor, so the Interceptor, I feel it's in this kind of like a mixed bag, right? It feels good to use against the ground. It fills the role of what the gunship is. right? What the gunship is meant to be. The gunship, of course, is so maneuverable that it's just the ultimate A unit, right? I don't want to kind of like reduce it too much because it's a really fun unit to play. But the interceptor, because its bullets are like slower, much more hard hitting, it's more difficult to actually hit stuff in the air. And what's also a thing I notice is a lot of the feedback I get about the interceptor, for example, is Centauri versus aliens. So there I can understand it's much more difficult to use the interceptor. But when it's a versus Sol, I feel there's less problems, so to speak. But in general, again, I want to go and revisit these units, like revisit every single unit to make sure it kind of fulfills its role as intended. And if it doesn't, then you change something about it. For example, the fighter, I will likely remove the bomb and put like something else instead. If that's going to be missiles or something like that, maybe. But I just don't want to say right now till I don't want to promise anything. But Oh, oh shit. Okay. Ah, fuck. Questions are jumping and I can't read them. Oh, I didn't realize that. We'll try that. Roger that, Jackeel. FPS command works good, but the AI moves slower than FPS players. Sometimes will AI help fix that? Yes, that is directly caused by the AI constantly trying to pathfind, because when you're moving, you move beyond a certain distance, and it has to then recalculate the path again. This is something that needs to change. Like the logic of that needs to change. And this is in fact a source of the problem for AI in general. This is why players always move faster than the AI. Right? It should be that when you send a group of infantry at full speed, the player should go as fast as them. And infantry aren't a problem, by the way. It's mainly the except FPS commanding, of course. But yeah, it's the most effective way to use FPS commanding is not to have them follow you, but to send them somewhere and then go behind them or like with them. Then they'll go at a much more correct speed. That's for now. Yeah, obviously that it should work correctly in the future. Pulse tank is really weak. It sees no play. Yeah, Matt, I don't think it's the yeah, it's weak in health and range. Yeah, health and the range is of course what kills it. I'll be revisiting it, but it's lower on the priority list at the moment because there's just more important like general units to use. Like the pulse tank works pretty good as anti-air as well. But of course, its range is what kills it. But I can't increase its range too much. It would then start being ridiculous. Like, how far can this field travel? It's already going like 500 meters. Like, should it go even more, like a kilometer or whatnot? So it's 500 or 400, I forget. Something like that. The pulse truck has to get in range first. Yeah, it's basically a shotgun. It's a shotgun vehicle. The whole idea, and I think this is what I've been noticing. I get a lot of feedback around some units, and it's always focused on the one unit. That's an incorrect way of looking at it because it's like people go and they'll take a railgun tank and they'll say, oh, I can't get a crab off me. Well, that's good. You're doing a wrong thing. If you're there alone and there's a crab on top of you, you've done something wrong. The whole idea is you should have units with you, the lighter units, which will go and kill those crabs. Right. Same thing with the pulse truck. Its intentional use is not a solo unit which flies in and destroys shit. It's meant to be one of the units as part of a group, which will go and deal heavy damage when it gets close to the target. Right, like a shotgun. I mean, you don't expect the shotgun to be useful at range. That's also the reality. So I mean, I think it's a misunderstanding of what the pulse tank is intended for. I noticed a lot of it that it is the case that people send these individual or players will hop into a vehicle, and because they're alone, it makes sense. They'll go and they'll drive. I do it myself, to be perfectly honest. And you get killed relatively quickly, even as a railgun tank, because you can't do anything against a dragonfly which comes close to you, oh god, it suddenly left me. The squid,
Takes the hunters also.
And pulse tank is so slow. Yeah, pulse tank needs to be definitely faster. I 100% agree with that one though. For the aerial transports, would it be possible to give them a secondary fire mode that launches flares to counter AA? Give them more of a chance to do their job. To drop off units. So it's this thing, flares versus AA versus whatnot. if there is a button to cancel the AA, what's the point of AA? Do you have a limit to its use? Okay, so you neutralize one shot and the next shot will hit you. So it really depends on, okay, fine. What does that mean? Like, to neutralize to use flares. It doesn't make sense, I think, in this game to have flares. Especially like if we're talking about, like, for example, against Centauri AA, those are proximity grenades. The flares won't help, So would it be only against Soul? But okay, let's say we just say, all right, gameplay, we'll just have it in general. So now you're flying around and using flares so that the AA can't hit you. So now the AA is ineffective. So then people will say, all right, can we have something which is more effective against anti-flares, so to speak? And ultimately you get down to the point where it's like, okay, if you want the absolute anti-AA unit, use the railgun tank. And that's wrong, of course. That's a separate issue in itself. I might actually have to give like a manual, just like a gameplay meta thing where it's like, okay, if you're shooting at an A unit, it's just going to do much less damage, which I don't want to, but ultimately I notice it myself. It's just the most effective AA unit, like the railgun tank, just because it has a fast projectile. It makes sense.
Don't touch my Rayleigh boy, Dram. Don't you do it.
Well, it's shooting down aircraft. I think you agree with me. It's like it's. When you're trying to fly and you're like, oh, there's a lone tank, and it takes you out of the sky, it's frustrating.
What if you limited its traverse?
What do you mean?
So instead of it being able to point quite far up, have it so it can only point at, say, 45-degree angles?
It has that already. It doesn't work because you just go onto a hill to point upwards.
Yeah, true.
It's just I did that and it's not effective, unfortunately. That give them a boost like other air units. Oh right, yeah, for the aerial transports. Yes, they should have boosts. I just didn't get around to implementing them because the AA units shouldn't. Oh, sorry, the aerial transport units right now, they're not finished, so to speak, because the AI can't board them properly. So there was no point in completing the boost and all this kind of stuff. But they will have boosts just like the other air units. Pulse structure solution, catapult. Oh god, no. Why is this always mentioned? Stop torturing. Centauri versus Soul. Intercept is incredibly terrible against Soul. You mean air to air or in general? Because if we're talking about like against ground units, no, it's very effective against those. But if you mean air to air, matter. Just to clarify. Intercept is a really bad unit. Please increase its speed. I'm not sure it's the speed. It's the maneuverability that's a problem. Otherwise, it's about as fast as the what's it called, the gunship. In fact, it's the same speed. It's the maneuverability. Yes, please. Pulse truck, 1 kilometer. It's a buff, and I think it's even weak. It's a weak buff. 1 kilometer, definitely no, man. It's just like vaulting a field at 1 kilometer is just nah. I just strongly disagree, very strongly. It has a specific use and it's close range. But we're looking at the perspective of large games. Pulse tank doesn't really do anything really well compared to other units. Shit jumped. We're looking at the perspective of large games. Pulse truck, I guess, doesn't really do anything really well compared to other units. It does a fuck ton of damage. Like if you go and you charge a siege tank with a pulse, or like the Crimson tank, for example, and you use the pulse truck, yeah, it's just going to eliminate it. It's going to delete it. But you have to get close, of course, and you can't get close because it's just as fast as the other units there. So it needs to be faster, right? And that's the intent. Like it should be it's very slow. Long story short, it needs to be faster, 100%. I can't wait for formation. It's going to make this game shine with large infantry and armor columns. Yeah, so Christopher, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but like doing formations that are moving in formation, like columns of vehicles and stuff, that's a different story. But I mean, like like if you, for example, told infantry to move in like a square formation or whatever, that's a problem. Like moving into formation at the final position, that's a different story. That's very doable. But like moving in that formation is something that's quite honestly outside the scope of 1.0. Don't want to lie. It's just because I mean I would absolutely love it, but it's just yeah, it's just outside of the budget possibilities at the moment, basically. It has an intended usage, but due to the nature of the game, it is outclassed by anything. Yeah, Mada, you're very right. Like right. I agree with you. At the same time, I think it really depends on like the. Ultimately, I'd say it's an AI issue, right? Reason being is if you have units going and they all spread out in this long line, of course it's going to get fucked, right? If they move more in a group, then that's a different story, right? Because it comes into play at closer range and deletes, right? So we'll see. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps I'm wrong. But I definitely won't increase the range of the pulse truck. I'd rather more lean into its shotgun nature and make it, for example, cheaper to use. Make it more preferable for other reasons. Because I do think when you're driving around as a pulse truck, I do feel it needs to be faster. It really does. But then when you get close to like a harvester, it's like bang, deletes half the health. Because all vehicles have like this absolute weakness to electrical damage, which of course, by the way, is for the shocker as well. Transports don't need flares. It just needs to be quick in the extreme. The fastest units should be transports. Be so fun, so fun. Yes, they need to be fast. Obviously, like they shouldn't be the fastest because I mean they're transporting shit, but they shouldn't be the slowest units, 100%. And yeah, I don't think this game needs flares at all, quite frankly. It's because, okay, is it the magical button you press to, prevent the rocket that's flying in at you to, if that's the case, what's the point of the rocket? From a gameplay perspective, by the way, I'm not too, obviously real life is a different story, right? But if we're talking about a game, Pulse Truck Catapult is a Crabapult, but for humans. Fair. I don't see the reason why Interceptor needs to be good against ground. Interceptor is meh if you have a Dreadnought. Yes, that is very true. The Dreadnought was meant to be more of a, essentially base destroyer from the air to a degree, right? And then you have, of course, the freighter dropping the shit. The Interceptor I wanted to be harder hitting. That was the idea of it. So, you only needed to get 1 or 2 hits on the enemy aircraft to take them out. The problem is, of course, the speed. Dram vehicle horns can double as their voice barks. Oh, that's win-win. I agree, Talion. That would be absolutely fantastic. I think everyone would give it a very positive review on Steam when you're considering beep beep meep 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 meep. Especially if you lean into the kind of the really annoying one. Interceptor just screens an air-to-air unit, the name itself. Please make it air unit. Salgerlis, yes, you are right. It does scream air unit indeed. Interceptor, of course, is air-to-air unit. Like I said, I'll review it. Yeah, I'm not going to promise anything on it right now because I don't have it solved in my head, and I can't just go from what people say. I take that into account, of course. But if I did everything everyone told me, the game would be shit. That's just the reality. You need to keep to the vision. So it's and work in the feedback, see where it makes sense, and utilize it correctly. Yeah, because if I went from what people wanted, every unit would be an absolute winning unit. I remember people telling me, "Hey, the siege tank could use a secondary gun." No, it couldn't. In that case, it's already super powerful, and if it has a secondary gun, it makes it the most powerful unit in the game. You don't want to get a unit which has no weakness, and the siege tank's weakness is the fact it can't protect itself at close range if something gets close to it or on top of it, aliens, for example. If you manage as a crab to find a siege tank standing on its own, the owner of the tank has done something wrong, or the AI hasn't been finished yet. In which case, right now the AI hasn't been finished yet. Even if you hit anything with the Interceptor, it barely does the damage you think it should do. Mada, you are right in one important sense, and that is that what happens a lot of the times, especially if you're shooting, for example, at a gunship, and this is the biggest problem with the gunship. The gunship is shaped such that it gets a lot of ricochets, right? So that you shooting as an interceptor at the front of a gunship, which is usually the case in air-to-air combat, it bounces like fuck, right? If you shoot at the side of a gunship, it takes only like 2 or 3 hits and it's basically dead, right? But that's the problem, you know, that doesn't usually happen, does it? You know, yeah, but you get the point. Dram, what is the point of hovering tanks if they can't fly? Well, hovering tanks is, it makes sense that you don't have to worry about, you know, rocks and these kinds of things. You can just jump over them. But a flying tank, of course, I mean, realistically speaking, if you can hover, you can probably fly, right? But it's just it just made sense for the game. It just visually speaking, and in terms of you know, being able to jump over obstacles. That's why we have hovering tanks. I just wanted that feeling for Soul, quite frankly. It was more of an aesthetic, right? I wanted for Soul to be like this clearly technologically advanced faction, right? Where, you know, you look at it and you're like, how are they not winning immediately, like the battles of Bolterus? Well, their biggest limitation is that they don't build anything on on Bolterus. They build everything on Earth and teleport it in. And there is a certain limit to how fast that can happen. You know, whereas Centauri build everything in situ, they build it on the planet. So that's why Centauri have a chance against Sol. Otherwise, if it was planet versus planet, apart from obviously, because they have you know, Centauri. If you've noticed in the locations, they have these massive turrets, right? Like orbital cannons, right? So that's its own kind of thing. But basically, if it was planet versus planet, like just like forces, yeah, Centauri would probably lose. Alien Eco scales well, but late game Shrimp Eco can tank performance. Any idea on how to make Alien Eco more efficient? Yes, basically just have them get more resources or make things cost less for the aliens. You know, basically just make each shrimp more impactful. Long story short, so make it so that's not so many are required, and then you limit how many can be built.
Yeah, that's the gunship.
You know, that's basically the way I would do it. But that needs very careful balancing because you don't want to start limiting the eco too much. And I think I've gone through all the questions. I hope I haven't missed anything.
Oh my, that was a lot of armored cars.
I've also noticed one thing with performance, and that's fucking Windows 11 updates. Have just, for example, for me, it's tanked the performance in general.
Windows 11.
Windows 11 is a pile of shit. I have to be very honest. It's a piece of
Yes.
shit.
Existence.
I don't publicly criticize, you know, things like that because I understand how difficult it is to do things. But sorry, Windows 11 is just a pile of shit. What they've been doing with it is just absolute fucking terrible. You know, the efficiency mode. So right now, as I'm seeing this, I'm seeing like and stream constantly jittering as Microsoft is trying to push its absolute shit edge on people. So you don't use Chrome and whatever else. Yeah, Windows 11 is just barbaric in terms of performance. And in fact, that probably goes back to one of the things you mentioned before, Laka, like why is it only using 23%? Are you on Windows 11? Because if so, that might be the reason. Because, yeah, for example, right on my end right now, it's using apparently 20% of the CPU. Then it goes up to 30, then it goes back down to 11%. I'm like, what? What are you doing? What is Windows doing? 13% right now. For example, I'm getting 15 FPS in the game. This late game performance, before this latest update in Windows, I was getting fucking double the performance. So I don't know what the fuck those idiots are doing, but Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry for venting. I'm just... This
Probably,
makes my job so much harder.
Some sort of security updates probably.
It's like,
better,
oh,
right?
Dram, you know, why is the game running like shit? Well, Windows 11. But of course, you know, people throw that on me in the review. What can you do, eh?
Yeah. Have you tried lossless scaling at all on your PC, Dram?
I don't want to. I haven't tried it because I don't want to utilize it because I need to know what the frame rate really is, right? For development purposes, you know, I need to experience the game raw, which, you know, I can't tell people, oh, use a third-party program to play the game because, you know,
But like for more
Yeah.
your enjoyment.
Oh yeah, that's a different story, of course. But you know, when like with these streams, I try and gather feedback, and one of the most important elements of gathering feedback is playing it as, in quotations, it's meant to be played, right? As in just raw. You know. Do you plan to reduce gunship range? Yes. I mean, well, I don't want to say specifically the gunship. I want to say I want to go and rebalance the ranges of multiple things, including the railgun tank. I will be drastically reducing its range. Sorry, Lycan. To about like 1 kilometer, for example. The reason is, it's just in general, it's just shit. Just getting sniped from 2 kilometers is not fun, for anyone. You know, you have on the Centauri, you have the rocket tank. On Sol, you have the railgun tank. You know, and them sniping HQs from afar is just really annoying. So I want to do it so that at 1 kilometer, at above 1 kilometer, the railgun tank shot disintegrates, just explodes. The important thing is, and this is the critical one, it needs to be, there needs to be visual feedback and audible feedback to players, right? So obviously, if I shoot a railgun tank and it just disappears, what the fuck happened to my shot? Oh, it must have lodded away, so I must be doing the damage. But no, if it's just deleted, then that's just wrong, right? Sorry. So I mean, there you would expect it. So you shoot it, and just like with the Colossus, for example, right? When you fire too far away, you see the shot kind of like disintegrate midair. You're like, oh fuck, I'm too far. You understand it? It's visual feedback, and this is what I want to do with basically all of the units. You know, with the rocket tank, what should happen is the shot won't explode in midair like rockets. When rockets go too far, what should happen is they suddenly curve down into the ground. So they just nosedive essentially, right? So you'll see them, you'll shoot, and it's like, oh, and it falls short of your target. You're like, oh, okay, fair enough. It's a limit. You know, and I think that'll also improve the gameplay generally. Like, I want to limit so everything has a limit of about 1 kilometer. You know, so you know, or like roughly speaking, I need to see if 1 kilometer is the limit we want. But you know, generally speaking, because it is an RTS as well, you know, you want to limit things to about that 1 kilometer to make it well, more playable, you know, so that you know, okay, I'm over 1 kilometer away, no one can hit me, you know. So it plays more into a strategic thing, because right now, like a railgun tank, though it's really fun to hit things very far away, I'm the first one that enjoys that as well. You know, I just recognize it's just way too powerful, you know. Where am I? Aliens have the spawn options in sandbox, just port it to strategy. Mass, it doesn't work like that. It's a bit different. But long story short, almost yes, it'll work similar to that, right? Basically, if you spawn as alien, you'll be able to choose some of the units. But why I can't do that now is what was happening when I did that before. When I added so you could choose a squid. You'd get players, they choose a squid, fly in, explode. Choose a squid, fly in, explode. Choose a squid, fly in, explode. So until things like that cost personal resources, I can't do that. That's the biggest issue. I can do it so you can, for example, choose at least a wasp. Yeah, I can probably do that. But I can't do it so that you can choose any class at the moment because of this reason, because it just makes it way too powerful. You know, and of course people can say, okay, what about the Templar? But the Templar is easily killed. By other things, you know, whereas a squid is easily killed as well, fair, but it's flying and it's moving in 3 directions, like in 3 axes, not 2, you know. Yeah, players shouldn't be. Oh wait, shit, missed the question before that. It's been pretty good, to be honest. These Epic games run decent since most of the recent update. Yeah, cheers, Chris. Yeah, I definitely feel it as well. I don't like, with me, I had good performance, but with this latest Windows pile of shit update, I'm getting 15 FPS again. And it's like, cool, I might need to update my drivers, maybe something like that, I don't know. Or maybe Windows will realize they took a shit and they'll, like, fix it, you know. But it's been just a specific update which just made things worse again. Yeah, players shouldn't be able to shoot farther than what AI can react back, and yeah, for immersion it helps with long ranges, but for gameplay and consistency, it's good. It's going to be a good thing. Yeah, exactly, Chris. I agree. Like it's that's the thing. Shooting over a kilometer is it's always fun to be the sniper where you're shooting things and you can't get hit. But for gameplay reasons, that's not good, obviously. Zviniconi, I love the alien designs. Thank you, man. Glad you enjoy them. You could give human air some health back. If so, they don't need cheese range to make impact. I don't think the health is a problem because you'll still get people cheesing like the range as long as they can. What you need is what you want is you had to have a ground assault and then that transitions into an air assault, right? If you look at any recent war, or in recent war where there was aircraft, in fact, that's generally the way it works. You take out the AA with ground forces first, or you block it by some other means, and then your air force comes in and just cleans everything up, right? Or your aircraft is so fast that it flies in, drops its load, and then fucks off again. Of course, in the case of Silica, we have to go with more the former than the latter. Right. StarCraft T2, Sol is Protoss, Centauri is Terran, and Alien is Zerg. I love it. Yeah. Except Sol isn't really Protoss, but it is in that direction. Yeah, it is in that direction.
Get that hive spire over there with the rockets.
I cut off the node line, so they're slowly starving too.
Oh, they won't fire.
Cool. And Mr. Lycan, guys in general, after this match, I will definitely have to head off because I've got really important shits to do tomorrow morning. So I will have to call it a day once we finish playing this match.
Base is under attack.
I'm a totally mentally stable adult man.
Yeah, no worries, Mr.
Lycan,
Drummerlam.
you dirty man. Killing me.
Oh, the queen went down.
Enemy approaching.
He's cheating.
Enemy base
Surprisingly decent
Enemy
match.
base located.
I am but a humble man.
Names killed.
It's for the game,
Our base
the
is
fun
under attack.
factor. It's not fun for the commanders. It's never fun for the commanders.
I am but a humble man.
Frustrating that hard.
I just had a really itchy finger and I had to itch it, and apparently my mouse was in the way. So yeah, damn.
Quinnicky says his dad owns Microsoft. Banned Lycan. Lycan, you haven't told us that your dad owns Microsoft.
Got only if infinite money. Well, and I would probably slap someone and say fix Windows 11, but yeah.
Play Alien Commander so you can feel the pain.
Advance on the north, and we need to do something on the south. Like more people on the south.
I kind of want to nuke Sol with the freighter. Do my special. I somehow sneak in, drop the big boy, and just wipe him out. You know what I mean? It just needs to happen.
Maybe add all spawn options, but give 2-minute timeout for all factions. That's actually already the case, Mass. They already have a timeout But it's just not enough. Like 2 minutes is not enough. I mean, you just switch between 2 units, you know. Unit type and spawners and barracks. It need to be more than 2 minutes, and then it just becomes cumbersome. So doing, you know, what's it called? Making it so that it's based on, oh shit, siege tank.
Be careful, there's rail tanks over here, the freighters. I see them trying to expand in the south here.
What are you playing? Oh yeah, right, that's right, you're Centauri.
I am indeed.
Snipers do anti-armor damage.
They are doing a teeny tiny bit of anti-armor damage.
Oh, Dram, please give me high explosions on my Inceptor. I beg.
What?
Or increased velocity.
Oh, fuck. Right. Fucking rail tank.
Requisition another tech.
No, Dram, no fire for you.
Yeah, I wanted to burn something since my frame rate is so shite.
I don't know where the
Maybe Interceptor can get flak rounds. It's an interesting option, but I mean, I'll be honest, I like the way the rounds feel for the Interceptor, but we can increase the speed, you know, make the Interceptor a bit more nimble. You know, there's I think multiple things we can do while keeping the feel of the Interceptor rounds.
Our base is under attack.
Were you fired at, Lycan?
Yes, and I fired at you.
But I didn't actually. I didn't try to hit you. I just shot in front of you.
Look behind you, Dram.
I know you're there. I know you're there. You're like that that turd that won't flush.
Yeah, but you know, I'm actually parked my head in your doorway.
Our base is under attack.
Please don't kill me, Lycan.
Oh,
Don't
you
do
want
it.
the Crimson Oh, you want the Crimson? Yeah.
Crimmy, I want Crimmy. I want my mouse. Alright, it would be less spammable like with the teleports, etc., using one unit type. Oh, right, I see what you mean. What's the best way to figure out range of weapons? Well, right now, you can't really easily figure it out. The best way is to just ping a target with middle mouse, like a certain like a static object, a certain range, like a wall or something, and try and shoot. And if it hits it, it's still within range. Unfortunately, there's no other better way at the moment. Sniper versus marksman has a 1.64 to 1 kill ratio. Oh, fair enough. But yeah, Derknecht, it's really important, like what kind of a kill ratio that is. If we are talking about, oh shit, fucking, oh shit, there's the enemy base. All right. If the kill ratio is just like based on kills, or are we talking about like damage? Yeah, because you know, depends what, like I said, they have a slightly different use case.
Well, isn't this a bit of a stalemate in the middle here? Turrets and heavy units on both sides.
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Enemy approaching.
What happened there, but back to mining.
Some AA would be brilliant right now.
Our base is under attack.
We lost our HQ.
Harvester under attack.
Oh, my harvester.
Harvester lost.
Oh, harvester, my harvester.
Enemy approaching. Our base is under attack. Harvester lost.
Girl.
What are you shooting at? Black truck, what are you doing?
Our base is under attack.
How come the fucking unstoppable siege tank is ruining our south?
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Harvester under attack.
Unless it lands
Enemy
anyway.
approaching. Harvester under attack. Our base is under attack.
Go on, Flak.
Structure lost. Enemy approaching. Our base is under attack.
Sorry, Laka. Denied.
Our base is under attack. Structure lost. Our base is under attack. Harvester under attack. Harvester under attack. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Harvester under attack. Enemy base located.
These guys are using the sun against us too.
Our base is under attack.
Night vision helps against the
Harvester
sun a little
under
bit.
attack.
One shot. That's all I need. One shot to hit that man.
Looking for a whiteboard. ships are going off the roof.
Our base is under attack. Enemy approaching. Enemy approaching. Enemy base located.
What are you doing, Mr. Dramalam? Ah, he's a tanky
Getting
boy.
attacked by multiple fails and sieges.
An aircraft.
Yes.
I get Templars on hover bikes to get these rail tanks down. Kill 'em.
I'm deep in concentration trying to eliminate these bastards. I had Lucka come in 2 times with a siege tank to my side.
Our base is under attack. Enemy base located.
I'm coming.
Oh dear. I almost destroyed myself just then. Hitting my bum on the floor.
A standard situation for you? No?
Harvester under attack. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack.
We'll go bait some repairs. How you doing, Christopher, by the way, mate? How you doing, buddy?
Structure lost.
How you doing, Mangles? How you doing, Salgralis? How you doing?
Our base is under attack.
Huh? What the fuck?
Harvester under attack.
I missed a point blank shot.
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack.
I got a free kill on the gunship.
Structure lost.
Wonderful, nothing better than a teleporting fucking gunship.
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Harvester under attack.
I killed it, Dram, but you died. I killed the
Yeah.
siegey boy.
I almost killed him. I killed 3, so I'll take that as a
Oh yeah.
thing. Or maybe a secondary shotgun blast like the tank. Not sure what that means. What that's for specifically. Trade the bombs for a Gatling gun, like a copy of the Templar minigun. You mean for the Interceptor, Golanx? Because that might just make it a bit too powerful. The problem might not be Marksman's stats at all. It's the Centauri's AA is broken. Sol's air dominance is crushing. It's entirely possible. From AI analyzing data of AI. 808 versus 500 for kills. What about Crimson Tank range 2 Dram? It could go up to maybe 1.5. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, those are the only ones where it makes sense for them to be shooting at a long distance because they're siege equipment, right? So to speak. So, yeah, perhaps.
Right, I might sneak wildlife in this round.
And I will have to sneak off, in fact, because, yeah, I am dead tired. And I
No
really need
worries.
to go and get some rest.
No problem. Thank you very much for joining Dram. Oh my god. Jam, I almost called you. Thank you for answering questions. Thank you for popping in. You know, the normal. Yeah, and you had a good new year and hope family's doing well, and 2026, the year 1.0.
Yes, the year 1.0 indeed.
Oh yes, so that's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So yeah, and I can't wait to see some balancing. Like Centaur, I think are missing a few things in regards to say how strong their anti-air is. I know it's got mentioned a minute ago. How strong their air is versus air or versus some ground units. The bombs on the Intercept I think are good. They're fine. The Dreadnought maybe feels a bit too boaty, if that makes sense.
What do you mean? As in, like, that it's too slow to move?
Yeah, and it's just too much like it's not utilized because the Interceptor's there, if that makes sense. Like you may see one or two for taking out ground units early on, but when it gets later game, you don't see them as much. You'll see Interceptors more because of the change.
I think there's more there's more reasons to it. One, the AI of the Dreadnought doesn't exactly work well. It keeps turning quite often for some reason. That's one thing. Second thing is also like you don't use Dreadnoughts, which are easy kill for rails. At 2 kilometers, you just pop them with ease at that range. Even 1.5 kilometers. So I think that might also be a factor.
Yeah.
In terms of like damage, I think they're in a relatively good spot. Though I think I sometimes feel they could be even more powerful, like the Dreadnoughts, right? But it could be that okay, we just increase the armor a bit more, But like I said, I mean, we're getting into balancing,
Yeah.
Balancing is not a good idea to get into at the moment. Because, I know it's like, I've heard a lot of people say, okay, when are you going to balance it then? Well, the problem is I start spending time on balancing, and then people complain, well, why isn't AI done? Well, because I was balancing. So, I'm not touching balancing until AI is reasonable,
Yeah, that's fair enough,
Basically.
That's fair enough. So before Dram goes, I need a team of 5 individuals that are willing to come with me to Wildlife for some pirating. Who's the 5 volunteers? I'm not going to say it in game chat because everyone will start volunteering. I want 5 volunteers in stream chat. Where we're going to surprise the server with a rogue faction, so to speak. But anyway, we'll say bye to Dram quickly because Dram will be waiting otherwise to go for his little sleepy poos. It is 10:30.
It's 10:21 p.m. It's 10:21 p.m. my end, but I don't want to go to sleep late because I want to be useful for tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. But thank you very much for joining, Dram. Very much appreciate it as always.
It was a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, speak to you in the week, and I've got my beady eyes always looking to see what's coming and what you're up to. So obviously I won't divulge because I'm not allowed to. But the team is back in the office. That's all I can say.
Indeed. I mean, like I mentioned before, we're working on the campaign at the moment, or I am anyway. I'm working on the AI, or will be working on the AI, but I'm doing a kind of editor for the users of the campaign. An internal editor. It's not like something that's usable for players, but it's just for internal usage. What do you want, cat? What are you
meow, meow.
Yeah, you can hear, right?
Meow.
You know what? Come here. Hey, look, give me a kitten. There you go. Fucking hell.
Oh, cute. Very cute.
Yeah, so that should make it much easier to actually make the campaign. and like set it up and this kind of stuff, which is really important, right? Because ultimately, what is a game? Usually, you'll have some story. That's the campaign. So yeah, that's for 1.0, but it needs to be done now so that Scrooty, who is working on it, can go and dive in, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's fair.
Anyways, guys, thank you for having me. You guys all take care, enjoy, and I shall see you later.
Thank you very much, Dram, and have a good week, and stroke your pussy for us. I mean, yes.
Yes, I'm stroking. Righto, guys, take care.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay, I need 3 more players willing to join Wildlife. Just at me in the chat and I'll make sure you come over. We have currently got me and Net. Net, I'm going to need you to spawn... Oh, you already started it. I need you to spawn like a nest in the either far southeast or top southwest quadrant. Because I am commander of the Wildlife. Mr. Fresh. Robu and Madder. Right. Lads, what you're going to have to do is when I activate cheats, when you see it in the console, open up your console command and put Team Wildlife in the console. Does that... It should work, shouldn't it, Nect? When cheats are active. If not, I believe we can just pull you over. Right. Now's your time. Gotta be quick. Did not let you. It won't work for you. Okay, we'll do it. It's fine. Do you know the command Nect? The command to give the bot the authority to force people over to another faction. It's fine, Golanx. We can pull you over anyway. We'll pull you over anyway, mate. Don't worry, mate. I got you. Wait, is that showing us the nest isn't working? Can we not... Hold on, we might not be able to do it. Might just have to, We might have to just, You might have to just spawn in buildings and hope I can just use it to build. We'll see. Because it's showing our nest is disconnected. Let's have a look. I'm gonna have to let Nick do it. It's case sensitive? Ah. Golanx is not an admin, there you go. Golanx is trying to do it now. So I assume it's capital G. No, it still says invalid. You have to tell me how you spell your name in uppercase, lowercase, Golanx. And then we'll get the rest over. All caps? Okay, let's try. There we go, it's working. Oh, Matt, you got the bloody shit in your thing. Matt, what's your, Too many arguments on team. It is working. Just gotta wait a minute. Who we got so far then? Robu, Necked, Golanx. We just need Madder now. Unless I've missed one. I don't think I've missed one. HQ's working. We'll use the HQ. Matt, are you not a mod of the server? The admin. Give us a soul HQ as well if you can, Next. Fortunately, the alien one won't work. Still free cam? Press escape. Golanx. Not escape, sorry. Press enter on your number pad. Everybody who's on wildlife, press enter on your number pad. His cheats off. That's probably why. Hold on. Matt, I think your name's fucking up, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Because normally when it says arguments, it means things like stuff that's not letters. If that makes sense. Right, if we'll activate cheats, get ready to press the enter key on your number pad. So make sure it's your number pad on the right side of your keyboard. If you don't have if you have a smaller than a full size, you won't be able to enter the command mode. You're gonna have to go free cam and just take control of a unit on the ground. Oh, cheats were enabled, so yeah. Go to free cam then, Golanx. If you're in free cam, take control of a worm. Is it? Hold on, let me just check. Yeah, it is. It's enter key on your number pad to go to commander mode. Nate, are you in commander mode as well? How you doing, Robu? Now it works? Hey, there we go. So we've got multi-commanders, by the way. That's wildlife. So everybody get commanding. Now, tech might not work. This isn't meant to be a thing in the game. Try normal matter. There you go, it's working, matter. Yeah, okay, so tech doesn't work, unfortunately, lads. So, how are we gonna do it? There's no manual way to increase tech. Ned, can you spawn a quantum cortex for us? It could be because we're alien. Technically. The other factories won't build anything if we're a tech 1 or tech 0. Tech 0. But we're technically an alien faction, it could be that. And yeah, the nest is cut off, so yeah. You build gunships at Tech 0? We didn't just kill the server, did we? No, we haven't. Wait, we might have. Hold on. No, we're good. We're good.
So what if I don't have a numpad?
Don't have a HUD.
I used F. And that managed to work.
What did you use?
I just used F to hop into a worm. Numpad enter is not the default binding, I don't think.
Enter on number pad matter.
Nom.
Have we got a Cortex at all?
Yummy, delicious humans.
I don't think we got a Cortex yet, have we? Because we can increase tech level, which is not ideal. But we can pump out infantry. Where are you marking? We do have a Cortex. Where? Where? If you're in Commander, initiate a tech up on it, see if it works. Why can I not see it? I can see where you're marking. It's cut off. Yeah, it's cut off. There's no way we can force tech, can we?
What will the mod do if, as a wildlife, I take a container?
Put it on wildlife. I wonder if we add nodes to the nest. Or is it because the nest is off the ground? Huh. Let me come out of command a minute. Let me try this. It's actually called Alien Nest now. It is alien underscore nest spawn alien underscore nest wildlife. Boom. No, it's still cut. Damn, that sucks. I can manually spawn a factory. Yeah, we'll do that now. Let me just come out of command. I wonder if I spawn in. Hold on. Okay. Our grand plan apparently has been foiled by having no tech levels, but it's fine. Wait, is the Harvester Depot in? I think it might be. Oh my god. Not me doing it. Another commander's building stuff. Bum 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 bum. The hell is that? How's the nest? We can take the queen out of the nest, by the way. Physically, we can.
Lagging pretty nasty as a worm right now.
Why is my tank stuck? Stuck in a nest in the factory. We are stressing the server, mind you. Doing the Bolterian pirates, you know. What we can do is we can force spawn units. Yeah, it's a shame. I think the wildlife being the aliens is why the tech facilities aren't working. Because I remember the last time we did this, we were alien, so and tech was working. So I have a feeling it's literally the quantum cortex. That is the answer to that. I suppose being at Tech 0, we're not stupidly overpowered, as per se. I mean, it won't put a hamper on Lucker, or like the normal faction fight will still carry on, like here, for example. We're not really putting a hamper in, we're not on the attack as such, we're going to the middle, which is the main thing. As long as we head to the middle, and not like go base killing, it's fine. Because I don't want a base kill. We're here to be like a nuisance, more than an actual faction, if that makes sense. That's what we're here for. Excuse me, Harvester, you are currently grinding the factory. Stop. Stop it. Right, what we're gonna do is we're sending the harvesters in. We're sending them in. The harvesters are going in. Yeah, because we're technically alien, so if you don't have the queen in there, the nest is inert, so you need to put the queen back. I think we can claim control of units off each other, which is crazy business. Why is that harvester in the factory? Hello, harvester? Oh my god! Oh my god. Lucker's like, turrets! I need turrets, please! I need turrets! Locker is going absolutely nuts down in the south. Look at him. Right, I think that's enough for these. I think that's enough production. Because we are a little bit too big now. Just a little bit too big. The harvesters.
What's this I see? Saul sending a harvester into our trade. Don't mind if I do.
Ba 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 ba. Oh, he's not even here. Well, there we go. He's dead now. The Great Harvester Migration. Oh god, Nick, don't do it. Don't do it. Send them away. Send them away. Send them away. Poor Lucker. Maybe have a little bit of a norm on that siege tank, but yeah. Send them away. No! The worms aren't listening. They've got a mind of their own. Well, technically they do have a mind of their own, being worms, but... We need to delete some worms, Nect. We need to delete them. There's too many worms. Ideal. We need more. We need them all deleted in the middle. The rogue entities. Why are they multiplying? What's happening? Let's go and give let's give aliens some worms. Take control of the worms, go to aliens, because we're giving soul resources. We're gonna give aliens some resources. I mean, this worm won't even come up from the ground, so he's just broken. Broken worm. Oh yeah, I need to ask one of the lads on the plans on the next iteration of Sandbox, because we can actually do like a Game Masters game when the next iteration of Sandbox is out, and we can have commanders on Sandbox. Yeah, technically. I'm gonna hand aliens this worm quickly. Give him some money. Money delivery for the aliens. Just rise them out of the ground and let the aliens kill it. Am I invincible or something? What's going on? I'm not even above the ground? What? Here, Zeph, if you can hear me, mate, shoot me. Here. There we go, that's better. Dad, what did you shoot? Mate, all of these great worms out of control. So the worm and kill you? Where you to? Where you to, Rube? Are you there? How much? God, how many worms we got, man? Tech bug? No, lucky you haven't got the tech bug. I was gonna say, what's with the siege tanks then? But I think you can build them at a lower tech, right? What's this worm doing? Dead. Hmm. How's the battle going, lads? Our tech's working? Ain't no way. What? What do you mean? No, it shouldn't be. It won't build. It won't build. It'll complete building and they'll just be at 0 still. Oh, I just flew straight into that man. Oh, in Sandbox will be a different story. I'll be like Game Master and I can like create missions and stuff for all the factions. Whilst you guys are like fighting out like a normal game. I'll be like the Game Master whilst you guys like play normally. I'm not shooting anyone, I'm just trolling. They're flying to their eyes. God, look how many... Oh my god, look at the alien shockers. Look at them all. Rocky, come here. Did you just have your dinner? Hmm? Did you just have your dinner? Did you just eat your dinner? Well? Hmm? Was it nice dinner? Was it nice? Hmm? Well, then, boy. Right, I think we need to stop pestering both teams now because they're literally endgaming it. So we'll just sit back now. We can even delete our buildings and join teams if you like, lads. Like, so you guys having a fight up there. Let the teams fight it out. Just happy spectating? No, that's fair. That's fair enough. What is this? What is this dogfight you two are having right now? What is this? What's this? Golangs goes down. Mr. Golangs. Everything's disconnected. Oh, the HQ's gone, is it? Fair enough. We're not going to need it now anyway, it's fine. Where's the Queen? Queen's gone, I think, isn't she? You know what? That could have made the alien tech facility work. Oh yeah, she's in the factory, but fuck. Hello.
Yo, yo.
I'm.
Tried the unlink. Tried the unlink command on the console. Doesn't seem to work. I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably not. Seeing that, I just realised what I'm doing here. Right, yeah, sorry about that. I was activating slow mode by mistake. What's I trying to talk? Yeah, it's probably just this. The wildlife's not meant to be a faction. So. Hello, sir. How is my little rail tank doing today? I'm a friendly worm. Don't worry about me. I'm just having a talk. You can stay there. It's fine. I'm not gonna munch you. It's all good. Carry on. Carry on. How you doing, Crowl? Let's go say hello to Jacob, shall we? Hello, Jacob. Hello, Mr. Jacob. Good evening, sir. Good eve.
No, I'm Jacob.
How you doing, sir? Hopefully you're having fun there, being a lovely little behemoth. Doing behemoth things, yes, yes. Ah, yes, Jacob. Nom 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 nom. Oh, you're Harkle. How you doing, Harkle, mate? Yeah, to be honest, the way I think of it is no point touching it from a developer's perspective when we have Sandbox being updated, because when Sandbox becomes, you know, a thing that you can have human commanders in, yeah, you're gonna be able to use wildlife anyway as a faction, right? That's what I'm trying to say, and I'll be able to like give you units and stuff as time goes on and do missions that gives rewards and things like that. It's going to be like if you ever play Armor Reforger, you know, you've got the Game Master. That's what I'll basically essentially be in that regard. Mr. Lucker. Hello, Mr. Lucker. Hello, sir. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat you, Mr. Lucker. Don't you worry your little bean. I'm a friendly worm. Yeah, so when that's done, sandbox wise, it's going to be great. It's actually going to be really, really good. And not only that, for like competitiveness as well, if you want to do a competitive game, having a game master is probably going to be the best bet, because if anything breaks in game, you can quickly fix it. But you can see real-time information of all players as well, which would be great. So that's what I'm thinking about Game Master, instead of just using the free fly cam, which you can use anyway. Having Game Master with like health pools, player names, that sort of stuff is going to be very beneficial. I think my worm's balked. I think it's just the mass ordering of wildlife units. We could probably mass delete those to save the server some time. But I do think we're on the verge of game end anyway. That's probably where I'm going to be calling it as well, because it is late and I do need to come off. So. Wait, why is the alien queen out of their nest? That's funny.
He doesn't want to get rolled over by hover tanks.
What, to see if you can sell a crate? You sold the faction. Locker is like fighting for his life, but he's dead. Mr. Jacob. Mr. Jacob. Mr. Jacob. Wait, what? There you go. GG's, lads. GG's, guys. Well played. Well played, aliens. Big victory. Well played, well played. Talking to the wrong microphone. GG's, lads. Well played. Good stuff. GG's, Lucker, mate. I noticed our worms had a mind of their own. Actually had a mind of their own, so I sent them all away and tried to delete some. But aliens had many, just an infinite amount of shockers coming your way. It was crazy. I actually wish we could do 2 commanders on each team, but the function only works for wildlife. Yeah. Unfortunate. But you can have like infinite amount of commanders on wildlife is actually crazy. Maybe in sandbox we might be able to get more commanders. I don't know. We'll have to see. Or see if Databomb can like find a way to do it via a mod. Perhaps. Yeah, see if Databomb can do a solution. Have like 2 commanders per team or something. Because it would help with the aliens, like microing. You know what I mean? Obviously, you'd want 2 commanders who can work together. But yeah. Yeah, just send them a message. See what can be done. But anyway, guys, it is late. It is currently coming up to 10:30 at night. for myself. I'm going to be jumping off. Hopefully you all have a good week. Am I going to be streaming next week? I'm going to be doing Silica's per normal, so on Sunday it'll be Silica Sundays. I do kind of want to do some more streams as time goes on, like I used to do. Like on a Tuesday, we used to do like Alien and all sorts of different RTSs and stuff. I mean, I did a stream last week for an hour for Stellar Warfare. Maybe I might do some Sins of Solar Empire 2 at some point with a mod. Do like Star Wars or something. If you guys are interested in that. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys. Much love to you all. Hopefully you had a good day. Hopefully you had fun. I know the last game was chaotic, but we kind of left you guys alone in the end. We didn't want to be too much of a nuisance after a while. Yeah, the big worm bounty was pretty crazy. But you can kind of expect something like that in Sandbox, by the way. In Sandbox, you'll expect me to be the weird fourth faction that might come and bother you from time to time, you know? Like if you fail on an objective, you might find there's a great worm that comes for your harvester and you've got to defend it or something. Just side objectives for players to do something on the side for a chance at, you know, some extra goodies. But no, that being said, guys, have a good one. I'll see you next week. I will post up in Discord if I go live with anything else. At the moment, my week's... To be honest, I'm doing a Resi-thon at the moment. So it'll probably be after that, if anything. Anyway, much love to everybody. I'm yabbering on. Have a good one. See you later. Goodbye.